And lastly, I don't think this woman even reached out to the content creators. I don't think she did. There's a whole lot of information that we had that no one else had. There's a few of us that had information that we never even posted. So at the end of the day, I wish the person never told me about it, to be honest. I wish I never knew because I really want to put this Nature Boy situation behind me. And I think for the people that are the real victims, they just want to put it behind them. They don't really want to be in the limelight. They just want peace. They just want tranquility. They don't want to be attacked again. They don't want to constantly be reminded of what they went through. And I certainly don't. At the end of the day, if you're really a person of God and you do the right thing, it isn't about getting rewarded for it or being known for it. It's just really you did the right thing. It was really you just did what was right. It's just like Jesus. When Jesus was crucified, resurrected from the dead, Jesus could have proved that he was the Son of God. He chose not to. In this situation, I was crucified. These people wanted me to unalive myself, wanted me to take pills, being harassed every single day, making channels about me. Jesus. They made channels about me and many others. They had everybody in that Nature Boy situation that was going after him fighting amongst each other. And that was just so they could ruin their reputation and expose each other for what they were. They tried to get me involved in that, and I wasn't. I had channel holders coming after me because people were over there lying on me, and it took me leaving for them to finally understand that. Now, a lot of the videos are gone, because a lot of the channels are gone. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't regret anything. But that Nature Boy situation forever changed my life. And it changed it for the better. Because it broke something in me. I became a coach because of it. Now I'm doing podcasting. So I thank God that you know, I went through it, to be honest. If it took them destroying me to put him in jail, it was worth it. Because I was the person that was being attacked worse than anybody that was going after that man. Besides 3 or 4 other people. And this isn't about credit because I don't really want credit for it. But I don't like when people try to make it seem like they were the ones that did something when there were people that you had no idea that was moving in silence, like the 48 Laws of Power, and not saying anything. There are a lot of us that did not do this for money, prestige, fame, nothing. We did it because it was the right thing to do. We wanted to save some girls and some boys from going over them. He even said that he was gay, but that's a whole nother conversation. At the end of the day, he's exactly where he needs to be. But I'm very sure right now in his mind right now, he's probably looking back and saying, I should have kept melanation. When he created carbonation, that was the worst thing that he could do because that was his downfall. And it was. Melanation, he had a very good group, and if he would have done right by them people, there's no telling how big this thing could have been. If he wouldn't have been messing around with everybody else's girlfriend and trying to holler at every single female but behind the dudes' backs that were there, he'd have been good. But that's why he got carbonation, because he knew those men were going to let him get away with this stuff because they were weak compared to the men of melanation. But that's a whole nother conversation. But in the end, what matters more than anything is that he's in prison. What matters is he can't hurt nobody. Not physically anyway. Yeah, he might have people sending him money. He might have women that are thinking they're his girlfriend, so on and so forth, but he is a menace to society. And to the woman that passed away, who got to see him go to prison, not only for what he did to your daughter, but what he did to many others, I promised you, I'm going to make sure he stays in prison, and I'm going to keep that word. Every time he has a chance of appeal, if I got to fly my behind down to Atlanta and speak for that woman, I'm going to speak for her because I promised her that I would. That woman died trying to save her daughter. And I promised her that I would make sure he stay in there. And I'm going to make sure he stays in there. So, Mr. Eligio, I'm sure you remember me. You're a thorn in your side. The one woman that you couldn't manipulate. The one woman that actually had my foot on your neck. The one woman that nobody could pay to leave. The one woman that went through hell. But you know what? If what I went through was the beginning of your demise, then everything I went through was worth it, Mr. Eligio. Those people would do anything to protect you, including trying to destroy me. But see, if they would have never came after me in the first place, maybe you wouldn't be in prison right now. Maybe if they wouldn't have came after my job and came after my family and did all the things they did, and I would have never went to the authorities about it as a content creator, you wouldn't be in jail right now. Because do you really believe that any of those people would have believed them considering everything? So even though, no, I was not in that courtroom. Even though, no, I did not get on no stand. But I was the person that sent all the evidence, though. That was me. That was I. And never spoke on it when I left. Because once I did that, that's when I walked away because I was told to walk away. At the end of the day, Mr. Bishop, you should have listened to me when I told you to stop while you were ahead. You should have listened to me when I told you the day that you said that you were going to go to the authorities about Nicaragua. I told you, go ahead. I told you, go ahead. Because I had more than enough evidence to lock your behind up. And what did you do? From that day forward, you didn't mess with me at all. Because you knew I was someone that was very much somebody that was your opponent. See, you weren't worried about everybody else. You weren't worried about any of the other people. But with me, I was a different story. Never stepped on my platform. And when you did, you went incognito. But at the end of the day, Mr. Bishop, I hope while you in there, you learn something. I hope while you in there, you understand that you in there because of you. See, one thing about karma is you were in New Jersey, was where you were born. You were born in New Jersey. You had 3 different names underneath your criminal background. Not only that, you was in New York and got ran out of New York, which is how you end up in Georgia, but that's a whole nother conversation. And yes, you were a gay male stripper. You certainly were. But there was way more. You were also in an institution in Virginia. Another conversation. But anyway, there's a whole lot about you that I know that no one else does. But at the end of the day, it's amazing how this situation proves 2 points. That sometimes negative people are never going to get the consequences, repercussions. Because it will always be the positive person that will be looked at way worse than the negative person. True or false? So I guess that goes back to Jesus Christ now, doesn't it? Because that's what happened to Jesus. Jesus went through the worst crucifixion, and yet anybody who does something negative doesn't even go through half of that. So that just shows me that I don't need to be doing negative things, because it would be 100 times, if not 1,000 times worse for me than any negative person. Learned a lot from this situation. I really did. But at the end of the day, I hope whoever watches this documentary learns about why you should